Hello book besties, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ash and you are watching Smoke Shelves. Welcome, it is officially December. Spotify Wrapped is out, the holidays in full swing, and it is getting cold here in Edinburgh. But you know what? That's okay, because I have a wrap up and a few more hopefuls for y'all. So let's just get into this, keep it quick, snazzy, fun, classy, all that jazz. In November, I read 8 books. 2 of them were on the shorter side, so my page count was a little bit lower than what it's been in previous months, but I had a fun time nonetheless. I read a few books for experimental vlog, things like that, so let's do it. The first book that I read for the month was part of the Tea Time Reads Discord group, which is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I gave it 2 stars. I thought it was okay. I felt a little bit disconnected from the story. I had mentioned this in my vlog that I had read for this one, but I wonder how much of it was from translation and how much of it was actually me not really enjoying the story. I really thought the concept was unique, but I just didn't connect with the characters, and it's a very character-based story. So yeah, it fell a little flat for me, but I can see why a lot of people love it. I can see why a lot of people tear up. It's very bittersweet in a way. So yeah, that was the first book. The next book that I read was the first book for my I Read 3 vlog of the month, which if you haven't checked that out, I will put that up here. This I Read 3 was books that were advertised to me on Instagram. Yeah, go check it out to see if it was a full success and my full thoughts. I got through a lot of spoiler-filled rants and raves. Check that out if you want a full thing. The first book that I read for that was An Unexpected Kind of Love, and I gave that book 3 stars. If you don't watch that, the basic gist was that it was fine. It was very formulaic in some ways, but there are just a few elements that aren't my favorite to see in queer romances. Then after that, I decided to pick up the audiobook for It Happened One Summer. I thought it was fine. It was a 3-star read for me again. I think it would have been 4-star because it was fun, except the main thing I didn't like was just the way the language was around the 2 main characters. And yeah, so that kind of irritated me a little bit. It definitely threw me off. That was a little sad, but overall it was not too bad. I definitely can see why there's a lot of hype around it, and I would still be interested in reading the book that comes out next year for the main character's sister. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I like that one, but we'll see. After that, I had picked up another audiobook, another romance. It was a very romance heavy month for me this month. I just need to get away from fantasy reading and kind of pull myself out of a slump, and romance is really easy for me to do that. I was reading a lot of contemporary, like YA contemporaries previously, so I just need a more full-fledged romance. And so I picked up The Ex-Hex. I gave that one 4 stars. I thought it was great. It was very perfect atmosphere, fun, does not take itself too seriously. One Harry Potter reference, which I don't love at all, but overall, I had a great time. You could tell that it was, you know, not trying to be revolutionary, but just be fun and quirky and witty, and I think it did that really well. Definitely a great story. Highly recommend that one. Definitely think you could still read it, even though spooky season is kind of over. So moving on, you can see how spaced out these reads were, but this next read was a part of the I Read 3 vlog. This vlog took me all month to read to... I just like irritated my finger. This vlog took me all month to do. It was not by choice. I just did not have the time to pick up physical books per se, but this next book was Ring of Fire. It was an indie pub book that I'd never seen. It has not too many ratings, and it's a fave book, so has the makings to be a great story. I'm always looking for new authors, especially indie authors, since I feel like I'm not introduced to them as often as I'd like to be, especially more recently now that I've been more into looking at traditional pub books lately and keeping with those releases. The link is already up there, but just again, check that video out if you want full thoughts on this. But it was a 2-star read for me. It fell flat, but I can see why it'd be good for like a young teen trying to get into fantasy, and it's not super heavy on the fantasy elements, but I had some gripes with it. So 2 stars. That was book 2 of that vlog. We'll get to book 3 soon enough. Basically that vlog was first book of the month, like my middle book of the month, and then my last book of the month. Sometimes things just get in the way. After that book, I had picked up the audiobook for Rise to the Sun. I had read You Should See Me to Crown by the same author last year, and really enjoyed that one. I gave that one a 4-star. This one I gave a 3-star. I didn't like it as much. I thought it had some good potential for a while, but a few things bothered me, namely that our main character, Olivia, one of the main characters, really pushed relationships on her friends. I felt that her friend, like Olivia's friend that came to her to the concert, Imani, was ace-coded. I don't want to say much more than that, but it felt like she was ace-coded and pushing relationships on her, and I'm not a huge fan of that, you know? Because that has happened to me before, and it's not fun. Relationships never end up going well. That book, 3 stars. Not a bad book. I enjoyed some of the aspects of it, but again, some stuff griped me. I think we're seeing a trend of my reading month was okay for the most part. I had a few hits, but many and a couple of misses, down to the second to last book of the month, and that is Games We Play. This book has been all over TikTok, and it's basically pitched as corpse husband romance type thing because of the whole like voice thing. And in my mind, I didn't even think of it that way when I was reading it, but I can see why people make that connection. Very short, steamy novella, very fun. You know, sometimes all you need is just a fun, steamy, spicy read, and it had some good hits on serious topics, which I was not expecting, but I know people were saying that it's kind of an element. It was really nice. It was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. And then finally, the last book of the month and the last book of that reading vlog, I read Iron Widow. And this book, 5 stars, absolutely incredible. I left it feeling so shook, just reeling in my seat. I don't want to say anything about it because I think you should just go and reading it. All you need to know is that it's a poly relationship and it's great. It's really, really great. So yes, 5 stars for this one. Please go read it. That concludes everything I read for the month of November. Let's get into a few December hopefuls. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run to my shelves and grab a few books. Okay, I am back with a couple books. So like before, I have a couple books that I want to get to for specific reading plans or just because, and then also just a few a part of book clubs. The first book that I want to read is Touch of Darkness. I know I mentioned it last month as well. The reading plan that I had for this has gotten pushed to the end of this month, which is fine, but now I would like to read this soon because this looks fun. And then something already sitting on my nightstand, but I've not started it yet, but I'm hoping to this weekend, would be Out of Character. Again, I think I mentioned wanting to read this last month as well. Fortunately, time got away from me. It's been a busy month. That was very loud. We'll see. Hopefully I can get to it this month because I'd like to bring this home with me. Same thing for this one. I have a list of books I'd like to send home with me. Ideally, they're all read, but you know, it is what it is. But yes, Out of Character, this is another book I would hope to get to. Finally, on books I'm hoping to get to, I think I also mentioned this a few months back, still would really like to read this, In the Ravenous Dark. Looks incredible, and after loving having a poly relationship in Iron Widow, I'm excited to see the poly relationship in this book. That is those 3. As for book club books, I have the Tea Time Reads book, which I'm looking at right now. I feel like I should remember it. Yes, okay, I have this physical copy at home, but the book for the December Tea Time Reads pick is Legendborn. I know the sequel has just had a cover reveal recently, I believe, and I'm really excited. It's Arthurian legend, and that is my favorite retelling basically at this point in my life. Asked me 2 years back, I probably would have said Cinderella, but now I really love the Arthurian retelling. I mean, I've always loved it because Merlin is one of my favorite shows. I'm excited to read that. Everyone says it's very good. I haven't seen too many people not like it, so I hope I'm in the camp that really enjoys it. I cannot find a pick for the Alliteration Book Club, so I'm not sure if there's one. If there is, I will add a comment down below saying what it is. If not, I will still leave the link down below in case you're interested in previous books that we've picked. And then finally, I actually just joined a new book club that is started by the lovely Dorna, my absolute fave. I'm very excited to be seeing what her book club picks, and so she just started a Discord for that. And the first book for December is One Day in December. Oh, I almost thought I messed it up. But yes, the December pick is One Day in December. I actually read this last year. I think I gave it 2 or 3 stars, but I might reread it just for the sake of refreshing my memory. I just vaguely remember not loving how some of the third act conflict played out. If I can get my hand on it, and if I have the time, I will try to pick that up again. That's everything for December that I'm hoping to read. Kind of some hefty goals going on there, but I think as things calm down, I should get some reading in. That's everything. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big fat like down below. Comment down what your reading plans are for December. Any holiday specific or winter specific plans? Do you make themed TBRs or reading plans based on the seasons? I'd love to know that. And finally, if you like my content, please consider subscribing. It would mean the absolute world to me if you stuck around, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!